Hi, my name is Autif Kamal, and this is another workshop on logic and reasoning. This one pertains to terms. I'm going to be focusing on how to refer to something uniquely, which is different from categorizing something. And this will pertain to how to be precise with your words. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a situation just to show you the importance of knowing how to refer to something uniquely. I work in a before and after school program, and in that program we have walkie-talkies. We have walkie-talkies because at that school they have a lower yard and an upper yard. I'm usually in the upper yard, and sometimes teachers from the lower yard will speak into the walkie-talkie and ask for one of us to send a student down to the lower yard rather than running all the way back up and running all the way back down. Okay, that's why we have walkie-talkies. One day, after we had come down, one of my coworkers had asked me where the walkie-talkie that she had was supposed to go, because the set of walkie-talkies that we had recently been moved to another location in the portable that we were situated in. So here is the walkie-talkie. Okay, and here are some possible spots for the walkie-talkie to go. Okay, now there are two sets of walkie-talkies here. On the right you'll see walkie-talkies that are on a docking charger. But on the left you'll see walkie-talkies that are plugged in directly. Okay. Now the reason why it's important to refer uniquely in this case is because you don't want to put a walkie-talkie in the docking charger if it must be plugged in directly. And you cannot plug in a walkie-talkie that's supposed to go in the docking charger. Okay, so that's why in this case it's important to give my coworker a unique reference in terms of where this walkie-talkie belongs. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the observe step. So if she was asking me, like, where does that walkie-talkie go, I could say, well, it goes on the metal cabinet. Okay, now it's true, they do go on the metal cabinet, but there's two things that I find wrong with that. Number one is, what if she doesn't know where the metal cabinet is? And number two, it doesn't tell her exactly where that walkie-talkie belongs on the metal cabinet. Presumably it would just stand out, but I think it would be safer to be as precise as possible. Now, what else could you say? Let's say she couldn't find the metal cabinet. You could say, well, it's on the metal cabinet with the Mr. Potato Head container / capsule. Okay? So if she sees the Mr. Potato Head, she'll think, okay, that's where the walkie-talkies are, because that's where the metal cabinet is. Okay? Now, what if you want to bring her as close to seeing the walkie-talkies as possible? Well, you could say, it's on the metal cabinet under the timesheets folder that is on the wall. Okay, that is closer than the Mr. Potato Head. But what's even closer than saying that is saying it's on the metal cabinet right under the thermostat. So she'll see the thermostat, she'll look straight down, and boom, there will be the walkie-talkies. And that's how to give her the most precise description of where this walkie-talkie is located. Okay, now I'm going to change the scenario a little bit. Let's pretend instead of having the shelf here on the right, we have another cabinet. Now, if I were to just say, well, it's on the cabinet, that wouldn't be very helpful since there's two kinds of cabinets. Let's say she's not able to tell whether it can be plugged in or put in the docking charger. Then she wouldn't know where to put that walkie-talkie. Okay, so what I was doing before was trying to refer to an object that was right next to the walkie-talkies that are plugged in. And by referring to an object which there is only one of, and which is closest to the walkie-talkies that are plugged in, I was referring her, guiding her to where those walkie-talkies go, where her walkie-talkie goes, exactly where her walkie-talkie goes. Okay? Now here's another example for you. It's just a map of an incomplete map of the United States, and what I want you to do is I want you to answer what and where is California, and I need to elaborate on that question. When you're answering what is California, I'm not asking you to think of like what is a history of California. I just want you to say, based on what you see on the map, what would you say that California is? It's an extremely simple question. When I'm asking where is California, I'm asking you like, how would you uniquely state, express where it is that California is? Okay. What objects would you use to uniquely refer to California? Okay. So I'll give you a moment to think about that. If you need more time, you can pause the video. Otherwise, I will tell you how I would answer this question and what would be unhelpful ways to answer this question. Okay, so to start off, California is a state of the United States of America. That's true, but it's not very helpful because there are many states in the United States. Now, if someone wanted to know where California is, would it help to just say, well, it's along the coast of the Pacific Ocean? That wouldn't be helpful because Oregon is also a state along the coast of the Pacific Ocean. Okay? What about it's below Oregon? Would that tell us exactly where California is? Nope. Because Nevada, Arizona, Mexico, they're all states below Oregon. What about above Mexico? Could you say that? Would that tell us exactly where California is? Nope, because Arizona, Nevada, and Oregon are all states that are above Mexico, including Texas, New Mexico, Utah, Idaho. So that wouldn't tell us exactly where California is. What about adjacent to Nevada? Would that tell us exactly where California is? Nope, because Oregon, Idaho, Utah, Arizona, they're all states that are adjacent to Nevada. What about adjacent to Arizona? Would that tell us exactly where California is? Nope, because Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, Mexico, those are all states that are adjacent to Arizona. Now, if you were to use all of these descriptions, then you would refer exactly to California. Okay? It's along the coast of the Pacific Ocean. It is adjacent to Nevada. It is adjacent to Arizona. It's below Oregon, and it's above Mexico. Okay? So all those descriptions put together, they will only refer to exactly one state, and that state is California. Okay? And that's an example of how to refer uniquely to something. Alright, so if you want more practice, you can go to Google. As I suggested in the past, you could type in list of everyday objects or list of random objects. Pick a particular object that you will describe in a way such that it refers uniquely to that object. So let's say you pick a laptop. You want to describe it in a way that it cannot be confused with a desktop, with a tablet, and so on. Or let's say you pick headphones. You want to describe it in a way that it's not confused with Bluetooth headphones, or rather, not Bluetooth headphones, with earphones. Okay. Now for the next workshop, I'll talk about how to translate metaphors to literal terms. So for example, you would translate brokenhearted to What brokenhearted really means is that someone was previously in love, but they're now sad because they were hurt or disappointed by their loved one in some way. And we'll talk about that in greater detail in the next video. Alright, thank you.